Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, and welcome to today's message. Today's message is love is the answer from 1 Corinthians 13:6. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. This verse reminds us that true love is aligned with truth, integrity, and honesty, and rejects anything that is false or evil. It took me a while to learn this lesson, not the lesson of love itself, but true love for myself and for God. And I learned that this true love is about loving others and yourself daily, but mostly choosing God's unconditional love in your life. You see, loving yourself the way that God loves you means acknowledging who you are, a masterpiece created by a loving master, not flawed or unworthy. And it's accepting yourself in humility and grace, being yourself and giving yourself to God so you can fulfill your divine journey and God's purpose in your life. Now, the truth is that life, when you grow up in a certain way, gets you caught up in the pressure of perfection, striving to meet impossible expectations in an overly controlled place with no boundaries and hard discipline, feeling flawed and unworthy. And it's hard to see past the lies that you tell yourself. And you don't see love as simple as it's made out to be. You see, it has something for you to find, something that seems like a magical fairy tale and almost unattainable. And it seems temporary. And you have to work hard for it, and it's downright confusing sometimes. You stop waiting for love to happen, and you just stop trying. You stay trapped in the lie, thinking it's normal and wishing that someday all that toxicity, the constant arguments, and the emotional neglect, well, it might stop. But you somehow get used to it. You grow up thinking that's just how it goes, that the lie you've known your whole life is healthy because, well, nobody's perfect and it's okay, and everyone lives this way. Well, let me tell you, all of that is fear, dictating the choices of those who came before you. And they taught you the wrong things. And deciding to ignore and choosing not to resolve all these lies, well, it just passes them on to the next generation. It makes them worse. And you have no idea as a child that this is even occurring. And you have no idea that love really is messy, imperfect, and sometimes chaotic, but that it really is beautiful. Many people grow up with the misconception that love should feel like this fairy tale. Recognizing that it's a lie. That means confronting the truth and choosing personal growth. Understanding that love is a deep connection and embracing God in your life will ultimately be what fulfills the true love in your life. When you choose to embrace who you are, the way God made you, you begin to understand and take the steps to love yourself the way that God loves you. You realize that you aren't a mistake and your life here just isn't random. You realize that God created you with purpose and intention, and you understand that God didn't create you with flaws, and He celebrates you every single day as the beautiful creation that you are, the unique person He made you to be. Instead of criticizing yourself, you begin to show yourself compassion, and you set some boundaries, and you find God's love within you. And as you embrace the grace of God, you allow God's love to heal and restore you. And as you heal, you find new growth and spirituality, and you awaken to the reality that you now understand, but the generation before just didn't. That choosing God means choosing to break the chains that bound you. That being loved by God's unconditional love means taking time to love yourself and protect your heart. And that being powerful in God's time is a love celebration. You suddenly figure out that God isn't looking for perfection, but He loves you just the way you are. You realize that love isn't a magical fairy tale and that He wants you to grow. And that loving yourself the way that God loves you isn't selfish, but necessary to grow spiritually and emotionally. And when you finally choose to grow up and understand God's unconditional love for you, it is then that you can love others the same way. Because God's unconditional love is truly the foundation for loving others as God loves you. Because as it says in 1 John 4:19, we love because He first loved us, which is the truth of our relationship with God. Love comes from God, and we are only capable of loving because He has shown us what true love really is. So today, choose to reflect the heart of God in your life, because, my friends, love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my message alive. I'll see you next time.